looking at problem 4 of worksheet 8A. So it says you have 2.33 grams of chlorine gas react with 4.3 grams of sodium bromide in a single replacement reaction. How many grams of each product are produced? So first we need to write the reaction, which is chlorine gas, which is a diatom, so it gets written as Cl2, plus sodium bromide, which is NaBr, is going to form, and since it's a single replacement, we need to check on the activity series. If Cl will replace Br, which it will, so we'll form NaCl plus Br, and Br is a diatom, so it's Br2. If we want to balance this, we have 2 chlorine, so I need to put a 2 here, which results in me having 2 sodium, so I need to put a 2 here. It gives me 2 bromines, so everything else is balanced. Now we're writing what we were told, so we have 2.33 grams of chlorine gas, we have 43 grams of NaBr, and we want to know how many grams of each product is produced. So we want to know grams of NaCl and grams of Br. Now you can choose to start this problem either way. You can compare both of these reactants with NaCl or with bromine. So I'm going to compare how much of each of these reactants will produce NaCl. So I need to do 2 gram to gram conversions. I'm going to start with my chlorine gas, write what I'm given over 1, okay, and then I'm going to convert grams to moles of chlorine, and my gram I'm getting from the periodic table. Once I have moles, I can go into my mole to mole reaction ratio. Sorry. So it's moles of chlorine to moles of what I'm trying to get to, which in this case is sodium chloride. So if I look, it's a 1:2 ratio. And then I'm going to go from moles of sodium chloride to grams of sodium chloride. And I get from the periodic table that the mass of this is 58.45 grams. I multiply and then divide and get my answer to be 3.84 grams of sodium chloride. Okay. I'm not done yet. I need to look at now how much sodium bromide will make of sodium chloride. So once again, I take what I'm given, place it over 1, convert grams of sodium bromide into moles of sodium bromide. So 1 mole, if I look at the periodic table, it's 102.9 grams. And now that I have moles, I can go into my mole to mole ratio, so moles of sodium bromide. So there's 2 moles of sodium chloride. So there is also 2. So it's a 2:2 ratio. Then I can go from moles of sodium chloride to grams of sodium chloride. It's 58.45. If I do that math, I get 24.43 grams of NaCl. This tells me that my limiting reactant is chlorine gas because it produced less. And now to figure out how much of my last product, and sometimes just to remind yourself you can write what you've discovered up here. To figure out my last one, I go from my limiting reactant, which we decided was chlorine, and I'm going to go to bromine. So write what I'm given, make sure to label who it belongs to, and I'm going to go from grams to moles. If you're realizing a lot of the prior problems you're doing already has the setup for you. And then you're going straight into your mole to mole ratio, so moles of chlorine to moles of bromine, and that's a 1:1 ratio. And then I can go from moles of bromine to grams of bromine. Should write Br2. That's really important because it's telling me it's not just the mass of Br, but it's 2 Brs. So it's 159.8, which I got from the periodic table. Multiply and divide, and I get 5.25 grams of Br2. So those are my two answers for grams of product.